Hi, my name's Ola from Tycoon Women. So I'm going to be talking about the new age of entrepreneurship and how the economy has changed and why it's important for you now to embrace the opportunities to become a Tycoon woman. So I guess it hasn't escaped your notice, but the economic situation in the West has changed drastically. The jobs that were there, and people used to think they had a job for life, are being lost at an alarming rate, and they're not being replaced. Most people are losing their jobs, despite what the government is saying, and not getting other jobs. And indeed, even if they are looking for other jobs, they're often being asked to take huge salary cuts. And the reason for this is that the jobs that are being lost aren't needed anymore in the same quantities. You only have to look around you to see examples of how people are being made obsolete by technology and new ways and modern ways of working. For example, when was the last time you were in a retail shop? And you probably noticed that there are now many more automatic checkouts for customers to actually check themselves out. Now, you might think, well, actually, that's quite convenient for me. I can just get into a queue and check myself out. But what it actually means is there are a couple of tellers who are no longer working. Another example is printing. The whole printing industry has been changing for about 10, 20 years. But now it's even easier to print. You can be on your computer by yourself, running a whole print company using digital printing, and produce the quality of artwork that before it took a whole office and a company to produce. So again, those jobs are gone. And England is no longer a manufacturing nation. Most manufacturing now it can be cheaper, faster in other countries. And that's the same for service. I'm sure you found that your service desk, when you phoned either your insurance company or TV provider, is no longer in the UK. And that's because it's cheaper to do it elsewhere. Added to this, the jobs leaving the private sector, or the jobs that are leaving the public sector. England has always had a very large public sector employment workforce. And for women, it's been a great opportunity not only to work for part-time and flexible hours, but also to advance their careers. 60% of the people who work in the public sector are actually women. As we know from the government, the public sector is downsizing in a very big way. They're looking at over 500,000 jobs, 600,000 being lost in the next 2 to 5 years. So in a nutshell, there are no more jobs. The jobs that are being lost aren't coming back. The wages are dropping. The government is no longer prepared to create employment. So job security is becoming a thing of the past. In fact, the idea of a job for life or a career for life is something that people of today are going to find is not the situation anymore. And you're going to need to be much more flexible in the way that you approach earning an income. It used to be your aim when you went to school that you'd get a good education and get a good job. That's what you were told. Go out, get a good education, get a good job, and then you'll have a job for life. But as I just said, there's no such thing as job security. What you will find is the fastest way to poverty nowadays is to be reliant on a single income from a single job. Because if you lost your job, what would you do? If you lost your job today and you couldn't find another one, what are you going to do? And in fact, what I would say is that you would find that pretty soon you're going to be running out of money. If you go down and try and get state benefit, it's not going to cover your lifestyle in the way that you used to, and so you would fast fall into poverty. When people look back in 50 years' time, they're going to be looking at the 21st century and saying, well, actually, that was a big change in history. It's a similar change to what happened 150 years ago when we had an industrial revolution. Now we're having an entrepreneurial revolution. People need to find ways of creating income sources and employing themselves. And if you begin to think, oh my God, how am I going to do that? Well, there's some great news. The internet has actually changed everything. It's created a marketplace for information. Let me just say that again. It's created a marketplace for information. There are approximately 10% of the world's population online. Now, out of 6 billion people, that is an awful lot of people. And they're all seeking information. All those people are potential customers seeking information that's online. And the information they're looking for are the sorts of things that 10 years ago you could only dream of finding. It would have taken you years to get that information. But I click at a button and a few words, Google and the other search engines can find that information. I often remark to my children when they ask me questions, and I say to them, no, just go and ask Google, that we had access to the kind of information that people have access today. When we were children, we would have been gods, because we had to do it the hard way. So having this kind of information was simply was just being gods. And the point about this is that it's creating a market for people to be able to offer the information to the people who are looking for it as products. And why would you do that, you might wonder? Well, let's just say you typed into Google a search term like how to make wheat-free cakes. And you came back within seconds, as Google does, with like 1 billion pages. You think, oh, gosh, I'll try page one. You get down page one, not quite the answer you want. You get down page, and then you think, oh, child, give up. How about if you type that answer in and there was somebody who was also very passionate about cakes, had already put together everything you wanted to know in a nice package, and you went to their site and you found all the information very readily, you'd think, oh, wow, this is great. And if they asked you to pay a little bit of money for information or to join a membership site, you'd be very willing to do that. And if you doubt that there's something that you know or that you're interested in that other people are looking for, do a little experiment. Last night when I was thinking about this, I thought, okay, what was the most obscure thing that I could think of? I could type into Google to see if anybody else was looking for. So I thought, I know, vintage eyeglasses. I wonder if anybody out there is looking for vintage eyeglasses and would be willing to buy them, or is there some market in vintage eyeglasses? Because at the end of the day, you know, you talk about somebody else's prescription. Why would you need them? Are they collectible? And lo and behold, there's over 1 million pages devoted to vintage eyeglasses. And hundreds of companies and people who set themselves up online specializing in vintage eyeglasses. And that's the way to do it. Think about what you're passionate about. See if there are other people looking for it, and then see how you could create market and product around it, how you can position yourself to become an expert, providing information about what you love. Say, for example, you are interested in vintage eyeglasses and it's been something you've fanatically engaged in for a long time. You're going to have a wealth of information. All that information you already have. You don't have to learn anything new. It's something you're passionate about. You can create an ebook explaining how to catalogue and identify and what are the most valuable ones. You could create a training video showing people examples of the vintage eyeglasses and the most rare ones and where they're kept. You could even run workshops showing people how to fix things that they've collected, or when they find them in poor condition, what they might be able to do to them to increase their monetary value. And all of these things you can sell. And just imagine that in addition to this, you thought, well, actually, I could offer a monthly service. Perhaps I could create a monthly e-zine, that's a magazine online. I could do a webinar like the one you're listening to, telling people some interesting points. People could send in questions and ask me for advice. And I could package that as a membership product and offer it to people. Even if you were able to sell this for £5 a month, which is very modest, you'd only need 100 people to make £500 a month. And if you multiply either side of that equation, the numbers start to really speak for themselves. So, for example, 100 people at £20 a month, that's £2,000. Or 500 members at £500 a month, and you kept it cheap, £2,500. So the opportunities are endless, and it doesn't require you to do anything else. So if we add the two sides of the equation together, jobs are going, single incomes are insecure, and so you need to look at how you can create opportunities. One of the things you can do now is start thinking like a tycoon. Start looking at how you can be an entrepreneur in your own time at home. And if you need more advice about how to do this, then there are people out there who can help you understand the best way about putting yourself into a package online, how to grow a community of people and followers. And all that information is something that you can find out, or is available through people like me who can help women to become tycoons using modern marketing and techniques which are open to everybody. This has been Ola from Tycoon Women. Please visit our website at www.tycoonwomen.com, where you can find lots more useful information and download a free ebook